Welcome to Good Mythical More. People refer to things differently in different places, like pop versus soda versus Coke.
But which one's correct? Because
we'll
there is a
decide.
correct answer. But first, we're going to donate $1,000 to the Human Rights Initiative of North Texas. Human Rights Initiative provides legal and support services to refugees and immigrants who have suffered human rights abuses. And HRI represents immigrant victims of violence and provides them with social services, including job search assistance, direct advocacy, and more. Please join us in giving at hrionline.org.
Thank you for being your mythical best. So we're building on the pop soda regionality with other phrases,
Stuffs.
terms, and monikers.
Yeah, monikers specifically.
Well, with the pop and soda, I mean, we didn't say either of those growing up. Again, in the South, you called most of it just Coke. even
Maybe
if you
in
were
the
a field-
South where you grew up.
So you called
but
it
not-
soda?
Yeah. In Greensboro, in a big city, we called it soda.
Isn't Greensboro technically more south than Bowie's Creek?
I don't know.
I guess it's not.
No.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So you go up and over to the west that far, and you guys called it soda.
I also think just kind of getting a little bit closer to a metro area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Coke.
I'm sure there are people in
Coca-Cola.
Greensboro that called it Coke.
because it didn't make sense, of
But-
course, to call everything Coke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get a Coke. Oh, what kind you getting? A Pepsi. You know, that was a common
Or even like,
conversation.
give me a Coke. Okay, which one? Sprite?
It did cause problems.
Mellow
so,
Yellow.
well, I think we'll readily admit right up top that there's some problems with our choice.
Yeah.
So would we choose pop or soda?
I definitely go with soda. I will never say pop.
Something about pop is just it's just
you
dorky.
You get confused with Granddad. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. Then yeah, I'd rather drink a Coke when I wanted a Pepsi than like
Be a
get
nerd.
someone's granddad when I was thirsty.
Well, I brought Granddad. You said you were thirsty.
No, I said I wanted pop.
Oh, okay.
Why would you bring me your granddad if I said I was thirsty?
I thought you were thirsty.
Okay. How about what would you call the channel changer?
The remote.
What have you heard people call the channel changer?
Well, I've
Some people
heard
call it clicker.
I've heard
that.
people call it the channel changer. Like
Really?
what? Like I've heard it like the changer, the channel change.
You know what my dad called it? The channel thing.
the channel thing. Really?
Yes.
But-
Now that you said that, he's like, "Where's the channel thing? I can't find it."
Channel thing.
The channel thing.
Because he and we experienced an age before the channel thing existed in most homes.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I got a channel thing, I remember what that thing looked like.
Did you call it a channel thing?
I mean,
Has anybody else ever heard channel thing?
I never
I
had
have a
wired
weird
remote, but
name for it. In my family, we always called it a flipper.
A flipper.
a
Yeah.
flip.
And then I realized nobody else calls it a flipper because you flip through the channel. So a flipper.
It's not bad. It's better than channel thing.
remote. I think we called it remote, and then when Lily was young, she would call it a famote.
A
mean,
FOMO.
She'd call it the famote.
I mean, we're probably the only ones old enough here to remember to actually
Feminine remote.
remember vividly the transition to the remote.
Oh yeah.
I remember getting the remote and for our first Zenith television.
I remember this remote. It was freaking
It
huge.
was the size of a brick, and it was all metal on one side and then black plastic on the other side, and all it had was power at the top, and then up and down channel and up and down volume. That was
5
it.
buttons.
And
Did you have
it
a
was
wired
so powerful. No, it was so powerful, and it was probably like cancer causing because you could take this thing into the other room and go through the wall, and it would change the channel. Like it was so powerful.
Yeah.
And we called it the channel thing, and I remember it was the transition to be like, well, I can sit here on the couch and make the TV do my bidding. I mean, of course, it's only going to be 4 channels, but I felt like such a king.
Yeah, because before that, we had to walk. We got cable before we got a television that had a remote. So, and the cable box didn't come with a remote. it came with it was a box and it had all the numbers across it, and then it had a slider like what's that thing called where you slide across to the numbers? I don't know. A number slide. I'd go to 34 and watch Nickelodeon.
I'm
Didn't have
trying
a
to
remote.
envision. I'm trying to picture what you're
It's just
talking about. A number slide.
An
An abacus.
kind
Yeah,
of like
an
it was
abacus.
kind of like an
An
abacus.
I was gonna say a meniscus.
So what do
Sometimes
people
I slide my meniscus around like it's an abacus.
your kneecap? So what do they call it?
So in New England they call it a clicker, and everywhere else they call it a remote. So channel thing is not an option. We can choose channel thing as the number one thing.
I'm not standing
We
up
have
for
that
channel thing.
authority. We
I
could
like
also
it.
choose flipper or Famote.
Let's go with channel thing.
Okay, channel thing it is.
For
Everyone,
nostalgia.
channel thing.
All right.
Candy pops.
Sucker.
Okay, because it could be lollipop, I guess.
Yeah.
We called it. I mean, a sucker is what we called it in the South. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And
No
I'm
matter what it was. No matter whether it was a Tootsie Roll Pop or it was one you got at the dentist that was a little circle disc. Sucker.
never once called it a lollipop.
See, I called it a lollipop.
Yeah, you're too citified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Greensboro changed you.
Is there any other options?
No, just sucker and lollipop. Sucker is south and midwest, and lollipop is northeast.
Okay, and yeah, we're seeing an image now. Thanks, Matt, of the.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was not the exact one
I
had.
remember seeing that at your house.
The one that I had, the plastic shifter went around the numbers, at least in my mind.
So it was dialing in cable using an analog switch.
I guess you could have used that, you could have stretched that out and put it under the rug and had it like beside the couch, but we didn't do that. Yeah, so we're going with sucker. Sucker's the correct answer here. Sucker.
Okay. I will accept that. Bugs that light up.
Lightning bugs.
Wow, what else could it be? Light.
Come on.
I can't even think of what else it could
Really?
be. Lightning
These
bugs?
are interchangeable.
Fireflies.
Yeah.
Oh,
these are
fireflies.
interchangeable to me. I don't recall using one over the other. I recall like using both.
Well, we said lightning bugs exclusively, but I think firefly is clearly superior.
It's superior. I don't know. I actually remember someone referring to fireflies, and I was really intrigued and excited. And then when I found out they were just talking about lightning bugs, I was disappointed.
been there, done that.
I'm trying to remember, and I know I've talked about it on the show. One of the first soccer team I ever was on.
Fireflies?
I think it was called the Fireflies,
That's cool.
not the lightning bugs, but and it had like a black T-shirt with glow in the dark lightning bugs all over
Well,
it.
first of all,
You played in the dark?
Yeah,
that would be a really good name for. I'm surprised there's not like a pro franchise that has fireflies or lightning bugs as their. I'm sure there's like a minor league baseball team that's the
Right.
lightning bugs.
Right.
But that's a really good. That should be a pro. level
Greensboro's
deal.
team is the Grasshoppers. Greensboro Grasshoppers.
I don't like
Well,
that.
then there's the Carolina Mudcats.
Yeah.
The Durham Bulls.
Yeah, the Mudcats.
South.
The
Columbia,
Kinston's got a
South
team,
Carolina Fireflies.
Or is that the Carolina Mudcats? No.
Kinston. I think it was Indians, but I think they changed their name for like,
Yes.
for the
Columbia,
social
Columbia,
reasons.
South Carolina Fireflies.
Yep.
That's the name of their team.
There you go.
So fireflies are West Coast apparently, and lightning bugs are East Coast. So it's not like a Southern thing. That's the differentiator.
Can our northeastern people confirm that? Ben, is that true? Did you call them lightning bugs? I did. So, okay, it's true.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going
Firefly is just-
fireflies.
It's great. Great name for a television show too.
Yeah.
A submarine sandwich.
Okay, so there's lots of names. So you got
We didn't call it a hoagie.
we called it a sub. We never called it a hoagie.
We didn't say submarine sandwich. We just said sub.
Sub blimp, a blimp,
A blimpy.
grinder.
That was all weird to me. All those.
A long
longie.
and long and bready.
Mhm.
A long and meaty.
Yeah. Siemens Delight.
Siemens Delight.
Hoagie, Grinder, Hero, Po' Boy, which I just thought was a different thing,
It is a different thing.
and a sub. So the Hoagie is Pennsylvania, the Grinder is New England, the Hero is New York City, and the sub is everywhere else.
I like Hero.
But that
But
gets
then you got,
confused
like,
with
gyro?
Yeah, the correct pronunciation of gyro.
Yeah, so we can't go with
So
that.
that doesn't make sense.
Grinders, interesting.
Where's the first time you heard
kind of been-
grinder
Uh,
besides the site?
the first time?
Yeah, there's one specific place where I heard it for the first time in my life, and I was like, I have no idea what this person is talking about.
It was in like the school dance rules. Don't bump and grinder.
No, it was in Adam Sandler's
Hoagies and grinders.
I was like,
Hoagies and grinders.
What's he talking
I
about?
barely knew what a hoagie was.
Yeah.
A lot of masturbation jokes on that album. Like he was obsessed.
Was that the Lunch Lady song? Was that what the Hoagies and Grinders was? He was.
I think so. Yeah. But the album. I mean,
I didn't get the album.
I
Makes me
don't
think of virginity.
remember like subs in my childhood for some reason.
We had him at Little Dino's.
Yeah, yeah. It just wasn't like I think sandwich was like you want a sandwich.
a long thin sandwich.
A long thin sandwich.
Uh,
But subs.
I like
no?
I like grinder. Let's reclaim grinder for, to be eaten.
I think it's going to be tough to do that
Yeah.
at this point. I think it's going to be
tough.
really tough to fight that battle.
What about jacked?
What?
It's another app. My friend told me about it.
Yeah.
It's like he's on Grinder and Jack.
Our gay friend the other day went through all the websites with us, and so this is a very fresh knowledge.
Yeah, he was like, well,
Grinder, Jacked. What was the other one?
I
Seems Delight.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah, that callback's not gonna get old.
If you like conversations like this, but with a tinge of sincerity, then you should listen or watch our podcast, Ear Biscuits, if you never have. You'd be shocked at how raw it gets.
There was a third one.
Talk about it.
Was it like a grizzly or something with the bear?
Scruff.
Scruff.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot about people on Jacked. They share a lot of themselves.
Yeah, they're very open.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, as me in this world, looking over his shoulder, scrolling through that app was just it was like an exploration
it was
into
pretty eye-opening.
uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was like,
follow me on
I was
Grinder.
I was looking for answers amongst our gay crew, and I realized perhaps that would be inappropriate.
All right, what's the
Jacked
next?
is not something that us lesbians use.
Yeah. I did.
Scruff we also pass on.
Yeah, I didn't see any women on there.
Athletic shoes.
Like tennis shoes? Tenny shoes, as I called them as a kid.
We called them tennis shoes, no matter what they were.
I literally called them tenny shoes.
I did not.
Tennis shoes.
I remember the first time I heard sneakers, and I was like, "Was that something else?"
It's so weird that we called them tennis shoes because
Yeah.
and we never thought about the sport of tennis.
But I did play tennis.
Sneakers and tennis shoes.
But I never thought about the shoes I had on.
because
Sneakers is Northeast and South Florida, and tennis shoes is everywhere else.
it's so weird that like I mean with all the specialized shoes today, and I know that they have specialized tennis shoes.
Well,
Do they look like
okay.
Did
now
a
that you're
tennis
mentioning this,
shoe start
I literally am
as
wearing
a street shoe?
a tennis shoe.
How do you know?
Because this is Stan Smith, a famous tennis player, and this was the shoe that he wore when he played the Adidas shoe that he wore when he played tennis. So this is a actual tennis
Can I see
shoe.
this? So there's a it's got his visage on it.
Yeah, these were like really
It's because
popular
the bottom of the shoe is
when
for
he was
soft tennis
playing.
courts. It's flat and it doesn't have a lot of ridges. Yeah,
Is it
that's
for-
a tennis shoe. Like that's why when you go to the tennis courts, if you are going to like a nice tennis court and it's a soft court, they will have signs that say tennis shoes only. But if you're going to a hard court, you can wear just whatever sneakers you have on because it won't
and none of
damage
that's
the court.
clay, right? Like when you say soft
Clay
court,
is a soft. Yeah, that is a soft court.
is that the only soft court?
Well, there's grass, but
no,
we don't really
yeah,
have that.
but a hard court is more like
Like a playground tennis court.
yeah.
But the thing is that we used to wear
That is cool. I like
basketball shoes
face.
around casually. Like we would wear high top basketball shoes that definitely, and they feel different. And I don't really do that anymore. I was trying on some shoes around the time that I bought these, and I put them on, and I was like walking around the store, and I was like, these feel a little bit weird and a little bit. They were low top, but they felt a little bit weird and a little bit heavy. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, those are basketball shoes. They're low top, but that's a basketball shoe." And then he explained the difference to me, and I wasn't really listening because I'd already made the decision that I didn't want to put it on my foot. I'm a tennis shoe man.
Right.
I'm ready to play tennis on a soft court at any time.
So
Sneakers
yeah.
makes more sense, yeah.
Sneakers is better, but tennis shoes is what's in my brain.
I did say tennis shoes all the way over in Greensboro.
Let's go rapid fire.
Well,
We'll
we
just
only
give our-
have 2 more.
Oh, okay.
Let's just do those like this.
Yeah.
Let's just get it over with.
Flat cakes.
Pancakes?
Yeah.
Or flapjacks.
Yeah. This is
Or-
weird. So what did you say growing up?
Pancakes.
Yeah. Okay. So it says pancakes almost everywhere. Flapjacks, North Carolina.
No.
No
I was
way
thinking
in
that's
hell
like
did I ever
a
say
lumberjack
flapjacks.
thing, like a Maine and Oregon. Big tree
Maybe
places.
at some point in the distant past, but not recently.
Now, I love the name flapjack. I wish I could say it. Like, I'm so jealous that I can't say it with sincerity.
It seems
I'm-
like
I'm
you'd be
going-
saying it to be ironic.
Yeah, I love the idea of saying it.
But pancakes is so indicative of what it is.
Is hotcakes a different thing? I thought hotcakes was also pancakes.
I think they're just a little bit hotter.
But I'm voting for flapjacks.
Okay.
I'm voting for pancakes just because it's a perfect representation.
Okay, I'll note both.
2 on the nose.
Drinking fountain. This is the last one.
Water fountain.
There's one.
What?
Bubbler.
Yeah. So drinking fountain, water fountain, and bubbler.
Is that
Drinking
British?
fountain is north and west. Bubbler is Wisconsin, Rhode Island, and eastern Massachusetts. And water fountain is everywhere else.
What was the first one again?
Drinking fountain.
Oh.
Drinking fountain. Drinking fountain makes some sense. We actually would have said water fountain. And we would get you come in from PE and you get into the water fountain line. Everybody'd be so just like that kid sweat. Oh, it's nasty. To think about now.
I was very fixated on. I would watch every kid that I could see and how they would use the water fountain.
You're not getting
and-
behind that person.
And I would, yeah. I tried to get in the front of the line because some people would. They would. I mean, it's like
put their whole mouth on
if
it.
this is the thing. Like the water's coming out of this, and that's the thing around it. They would be like,
Yeah. Like it was a teat.
yeah. It's like they didn't want to lose any bit of water, and I'm like, and then it would, the condenser or something would crank up, and it would be like, and then it would go, and it would go real
And you-
short,
yeah.
and then you get down there, and
Yeah,
then it
I
would
don't
hit
wanna
you in the
touch the
eye.
nipple, right.
I hated the bubbler.
Man.
Never.
But that was the
Heard of
only
it
way
as
we
a
got
bubbler.
water. I mean, they don't really use water fountains in schools that much anymore, do they? I mean, I know they're in there.
Of all people, you would know the answer to that question in this room.
I think it's still probably a public requirement, but I mean all the kids are carrying their little water bottles around, aren't they? I know mine.
Again,
the Neils
you
are.
guys would know.
The Neils are.
My kid just takes a lunchbox, which I guess has some sort of drinking thing in it. I've never looked in it.
I'm willing to bet that Lando has never used a water fountain, bubbler or water geyser, whatever the other thing is.
Drinking
fountain.
But the water tastes so good out of one of them.
It would get hot if you were at the end of the
Not the
line.
new
It
ones.
would be hot.
I remember the new, like when the new ones came out that were like actually cold. Those were cool.
Never experienced that.
Okay.
It takes me back.
Let the spirit guide your mythical destiny with the Mythical Oracle Tea, available now at mythical.com.